Today we'll see Java technical question and answers for interview part 5. The topic is multithreading part 2. What is thread priority in multithreading? Thread priority is used by the thread scheduler to decide when each thread should be allowed to run. So every thread is ready to run in the runnable state, and every thread is having a number which is called as a priority number. So priority number has been assigned based on the task allocated and its importance of the particular task. Some threads may be most urgent, without which we cannot move further. So those threads will be given the top priority, and the scheduler is going to schedule based on the thread priority for execution. Suppose the thread priority is 7, and the other thread priority is 5 and 2. So thread priority 7 will be given highest preference for execution. Which method is used to set the priority for a thread? So there is a method called set priority. Through this method, I can set the priority for the threads. Thread priority value should be in which range? It's 1 to 10. 1 is the minimum priority, 10 is the maximum priority. What is the value of min priority of a thread? That is 1. Min priority is a constant. By default, you are going to get 1. What is the value of max priority of a thread? That is 10. What is the value of norm priority? Norm is normal priority of a thread, 5. What is the priority value of main thread by default? Is 5. Which method is used to get the current priority of a thread? We have a get priority method. If you write thread object will get priority, so you can extend the current priority given for a thread. What is synchronization? When 2 or more threads need access to a shared resource, they need some way to ensure that the resource will be used by only one thread at a time. The process by which this is achieved is called as synchronization. So more number of threads are competing for a shared resource, but only one thread can get a chance of accessing the shared resource. So if you want to make only one thread to use at a time the shared resource, then you can go with the concept of synchronization. What is monitoring synchronization? And monitor is an object that is used as a mutually exclusive lock. So when I was saying the shared resource, only one thread can get a particular chance to access the shared resource. So here the monitor is a variable. Whoever get the monitor variable, that is, whichever thread gets a monitor variable can have the right to access the shared resource. And only one thread will be getting the particular chance when more number of threads are competing for this shared resource. That is called a mutual exclusive lock. Only one thread can own a monitor variable at a given time. When a thread acquires lock, it is said to have entered the monitor. All other threads attempting to enter the logged monitor will be suspended until unless the first thread exits the monitor. Because already one thread has got the lock, the monitor variable where it is working. The other threads are also competing for the same. So until unless the thread which has got the monitor variable need to complete the job, and then whenever it exits, the other threads can get the chance. Till that particular point of time, other threads are said to be in the waiting for the monitor variable. What is the purpose of the yield method in Java multithreading? It suggests that the current thread should yield to other threads with the same priority. So in the runnable state, all the threads are waiting to get a chance for execution. So some threads might have the same priority. So the scheduler is going to take the thread from runnable to running state, and after some time, again, a particular thread which was running, that can be again put back into the queue. The other same priority number can get a chance. Because more than one thread is having the same priority, then obviously they need to get an equal chance for execution. So I cannot provide only one thread for the full execution. So it should be a cyclic process where for a few seconds one thread, the other few seconds the other thread, like that. We can go for execution, but the same priority threads. So yield method is trying to help out in order to uh, give a chance for all threads which have the same priority. In Java, what is the purpose of interrupt method in threads? It interrupts the normal execution of a thread, causing it to throw interrupted exception. So if any problem occurs, the interrupt rises and the normal execution of the thread is going to stop. And it throws one exception called interrupted exception. So by seeing this exception, you can understand that there was some interrupt or disturbance where the flow of execution is being stopped. Which keyword is used to declare a synchronized method in Java? To have a synchronized keyword. In Java, what is a daemon thread? A thread that runs in the background and does not prevent the program from executing. But there are so many processes working in the background is supporting our application. And those processes which are working or executing at the background are called daemon threads. And those threads are not interrupting our program. So the threads which are running in the background are called as daemon threads. How can you prevent multiple threads from accessing a critical section of code simultaneously in Java? By using synchronized blocks or synchronized methods. A critical section is an area where we have the shared resource, and all the threads want to enter into the critical section for accessing the shared resource. But we need to prevent multiple threads to enter into the critical section to access the code simultaneously. So in order to prevent that scenario, we can go for synchronized blocks or synchronized methods. What is the purpose of get state in Java threads? It returns the current state of a thread. So the states are like newborn state, runnable state, running state, waiting state, then terminate state, and waiting state. So I want to find out what is the status of the current thread, in which state the thread is. What is deadlock? Deadlock is a situation when thread is waiting for other thread to release the acquired lock. It is suppose two threads are running and one thread is holding one resource, the other thread is holding the other resource, but each one wants to access the other thread's resources for the completion of execution, but no one is ready to release the resource required by the threads. So that situation leads to a deadlock where both the threads are waiting for each other to release. None of the threads wants to release their own resources. That situation leads to a deadlock. What is inter-process communication? It's a mechanism by which different processes can communicate. So there are a lot of processes where they want to communicate with each other in order to complete their jobs. What is inter-thread communication? Inter-thread communication is a way for multiple threads to work together and coordinate their actions, especially when sharing resources. So one thread want to communicate on the thread, maybe for accessing the resources or sharing the resources. They need to coordinate with each other to complete the job. That's called inter-thread communication. What is the purpose of wait method, notify and notify all methods in Java threads? The wait method causes the current thread to wait until another thread invokes the notify method or notify all methods with that object. So here the current thread is in the waiting state until unless it gets a signal called notify method or notify all method. The second method, notify method, wakes up a thread that called wait method on the same object. So whichever thread was waiting, that need to get a activation signal by notify method, then it can be activated. Notify all method wakes up all the threads that called wait on the same object. So notify method is going to wake up only a single thread. Notify all method wake up all the threads that call the wait method on the same object. Thank you.